I feel like we should be working together to come from under the thumb of white supremacy rather than being their damn sidekick. Like a Myron Gaines, who just openly basically praises white supremacists and white supremacy. And I don't see none of y'all calling this dude out. I've noticed weird energy that I couldn't quite put my finger on for a long time. Since my early 20s. Me and my best friend at the time had a business that we started selling food at different locations, but one of our locations was at a Caribbean club. And I didn't have an eye for it, so I didn't know what it was at first, but there was a significant amount of people that would kind of give us a side eye and like a weird energy. And I come from the mindset that black folks are just black folks. Like, I didn't ever differentiate someone from the Caribbean or someone from Africa or nothing. I'm from Tacoma, Washington, so I grew up with mostly black Americans, foundational black Americans, Mexicans, a little Asians sprinkled in here and there, and white folks, I moved to Seattle later on, and there's a lot more Africans here. There's a big African community here, Asian community, blah, blah, blah. So I never even gave it a second thought to think that some type of black person from somewhere else would feel some type of way about us. Because I'm like, for one, foundational black Americans are very pro-black and we've been very pro-African for a long time. I was born in 87. I remember, old videos of old rap groups from like the 80s with the African medallions and the red, black, and green. And we got a long history of being pan-African and pro-African and super pro-black with the fros. And, we put on for the whole continent. You still got foundational black American brothers to this day going to the continent, showcasing the city and the buildings and just showing love all in Kenya and everything. So I didn't think there was a reason for it to be a problem, but apparently some of you guys come here and you see yourself as more of an immigrant than black. So you kind of do this thing to where you'll align with the mainstream society, which is the white society, or you'll align with other immigrants in certain situations. And sometimes it's this thing to where you'll smile in our face on a one-to-one basis. A lot of the men are cool, you know what I'm saying? Generally. There's weird energy sometimes, but one-to-one, generally, dudes are cool. I'm not gonna lie. Some of you chicks from these different places, you can barely hide the disdain that you have for us. Even with the women, it's kind of crazy. But generally speaking, the energy can be kind of somewhat cool on a one-to-one basis. But I really started to notice when there's these enclaves or when y'all have like your own kick it spots like clubs or certain hookah lounges and stuff. If we go and we hear like the African music, the Caribbean music playing, y'all all kind of come together and kind of keep to yourselves and don't really rock with us like that. It's a different type of energy when you go to the spots that you guys all kind of congregate and kick it at. And if you've been in one of these spots, you know what I'm talking about. It's not really inviting for us. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the other way around. When you have like a black get together, like I was at this black private gathering, like this private event where you kind of had to know somebody to get invited and stuff like that. And there was a significant amount of Africans there. And we was all cooling. They was cooling with us. We was kicking it, popping bottles, having a great time. Everybody was black. But then when we go to the all African Caribbean event where it's mainly you guys there, the energy shifts in a real way. And, it's just, it shows that there's something there. And I don't appreciate that. And I'm never going to be the guy that's just going to be on here being anti-African and anti-Caribbean and talking all this stuff about your homeland. And it's not necessary to me because I want to visit Africa. I want to visit the Caribbean. I want to go to places where, at least on the surface, black people run things. and see what that feels like. Because I don't like being under the thumb of white supremacy, and I feel like we should be working together to come from under the thumb of white supremacy rather than being their damn sidekick, like a Myron Gaines, who just openly basically praises white supremacists and white supremacy. And I don't see none of y'all calling this dude out. I don't see none of y'all calling out Godfrey for the podcast that he just did with Crazy Legs, who's trying to take credit from hip hop away from us. I don't see you calling out Busta Rhymes saying hip hop was created by Africans or something along the lines of that, or people trying to say hip hop was created by Jamaicans, or the different people who disrespect us. God damn, the phone always got to go off when I'm recording. The people who disrespect us, who come from the motherland or from the islands, we got to speak up for ourselves all the time. Y'all never have our back. And we've been speaking up for y'all, having y'all back for a very long time. So it got to be reciprocal. That's one thing I agree with the FBA family about when it comes to them tripping on y'all sometimes, because y'all don't reciprocate. That's why Pan-African didn't work. That's why it's not working. Which country on the continent is Pan-African? You got a few places in West Africa that are pretty inviting to us openly. But if we got to bring a whole bunch of money, like, how genuine is the love for real? Like, it's not right, man. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. And ultimately, they got a bunch of slave dungeons over there that they're getting paid for. And our ancestors were sold from over there. And it's just like, I don't know. Y'all still getting paid from them slave dungeons. Where's our check? I mean, to keep it a buck. That's like, we don't even ask for nothing from y'all. We've been over here in this country for 400 plus years. And some of our ancestors were indigenous here, but like, no one came to save us. Nobody sent a ship. No military came to help us. We've been on our own. So when you talk down on some of the dysfunctions that a percentage of us may have, you don't even take in the context what we've been under for all this time, what we've been dealing with, and how we've been fighting for us and for you guys on top of that. And y'all got a whole continent over there with all these minerals and gold and all that. So it's like, come on, we can't do the one-sided thing. Like, that's crazy. I mean, you got these hate spaces on Twitter Space where people just come together, African folks and the Caribbeans all come together with this love fest for each other, but this hate fest on us with these weird talking points. And it just went under the radar for a long time without us really noticing. But it's like, damn, like, now it goes the other way. But for a long time, this was unprovoked, because we always show love to you guys. Like, how you going to just make whole spaces talking about our dysfunctions and parts of our society unprovoked for just years and years and years, and talking about us behind doors for years and years. And it's like now I understand why I'll see a lot of immigrants, women with white dudes, or see a lot of immigrant dudes just go out of their way to date white women and like talk crazy about black women. And I always wondered that, damn, what's up with all these weird dudes that's so anti-black women or so anti-black, these females are so anti-black man. And that just brought it around full circle. Like, a lot of the time, now sometimes it's coons, but we call out our coons, you know what I'm saying? But like, the Candace Owens is, man, y'all don't call out y'alls. That's a problem. So, I don't know. Like, I mean, you got the Rastas, they pro-black, but I can't really think of any other group of people. Oh, shout out to the Black British that hold it down. Even though sometimes there's a little weird energy coming from over there, trying to scapegoat our men over here. I heard talking points like that from some Nigerian ladies too, saying like we're abusive of our women. And, there's a little weird energy bubbling up. So, come on, like, every group of people is going to have a small segment of their people who have issues, but like, at the end of the day, we've done phenomenal things under a very oppressive system. And we showed you guys love, and we show love to black folks all around the world. So let's just keep a positive energy And those of you who are allies with us, man, I've seen y'all in different comment sections showing love, putting y'all flag, putting a fist up, shouting out the FBAs. And you're very genuine, and I appreciate that, man. It's much love to y'all, man. It goes both ways. And to the FBA family, I would say, just know that we do have some non-FBA black folks out there that rock with us, that are like-minded, that have our back, good people, good solid individuals. I know that. I've met some in person. I know some in person. But yeah, I mean, y'all got to start checking your own is what it comes down to. Or we're going to feel like y'all ain't rocking with us. I've been going back and forth with a few people. There was this dude earlier who was like, because of my last video where I was saying how some FBAs hate on non-FBA black immigrants unprovoked. And he was like, man, they hate us, bro. He's like, they hate us on the continent. So you got a lot of us thinking that y'all hate us over on the continent when I know that's not true. And then a lot of us now responding to these basically years of neglect probably have people on the continent thinking that we hate them, which is not true. We just don't like people who come here and try to sabotage us politically and hate on us. So we got to just really understand the nuance, educate ourselves, and not just be quick to be emotional and jump the gun, because the separation of black folks is what's been undermining all of our success for a long time now. And it's just much better for us to work together, because these white supremacists don't like either one of us, no matter how much they act like they like you or try to say y'all are so successful when you come here, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, their fear is genetic annihilation. And you're black just like we're black. So if they was able to get us out the way, you are next. Trust me. We know these people very well. They can act friendly. They're not your friends. They got you chasing your tail, doing these little one-day boycotts that are correlated with the black boule, and we know their games. Just trust me. Like, knock it off with the nonsense. We got love for y'all. A lot of us still got love for y'all, but we got an eye on y'all when y'all get in political office, because there's a consistent sabotage coming from that direction. Tony Bravo, Action Over Talk. I'm gonna holler at y'all next time. Much love.